pride, I might add, John. John, you've been a pillar of strength for our company for many years in a complex and very large market. It has required a unique adroitness to handle the situations and exploit the opportunities which have occurred in the Houston market. You managed our company's business there with skill, integrity, imagination, and a sense of humor when most needed, and I'll second that. I know of no USG manager more respected by subordinates, and I'll bet you there's a bunch of people who second that motion.
We'll have sales in excess of $550 million in 1986. And that ends up being bigger than what USG was back as short a time ago as 1973.
Pretty expensive. The only guy I've ever known that may be in the wrong business, which is basically the gypsum business, is a staid commodity. Doesn't take a hell of a lot of personality or anything else to get along in it. You just kind of motivate to go along. It's Al Knudsen, who probably should have been in some promotional activity, advertising, New York style, but whatever it is, Al is going to present, John, for you tonight. This is your life, this is your career, Al Knudsen.
John, I know you read the good book. And they say that, you know, a big family, a lot of kids, is like having a quiver full of arrows. And you've got a quiver full of arrows. I only got one arrow. And, you know, out of the mouth of babes, you don't know. But tonight, as I was checking in, I was standing there, my daughter, Crystal, was at my side, and I was signing in, and she was standing there with me. She pinched me out and said, she's, Daddy, she's, I feel like a racehorse. You know, a hooker. You know, it didn't shock me until I went, how does she know that? Anyway, John, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to ham it up a little bit. Pull the old table down and see what's in there. This is the closest I come to a chalet. Tonight we're going to honor John Patrick Gator. You know, it's been years since I heard, I always called him John. For 6 years it was Mr. Gator, until I transferred out into the Dallas district. But today he's known as John Patrick. I like that. John, you know, Perry was talking about a lot of people that we invited a lot of people. We had, you know, Ronnie Reagan was supposed to be here, you know, but it was Friday night. Nancy, she didn't have a headache. He thought he'd hang around the White House. Of course, the other president, Ralph Joynes, was supposed to be here. I don't know what his excuse is, but Roxy probably doesn't have a headache, you know. Of course, you know, Johnny Paul was going to be here. He really was. He didn't want to listen to all these confessionals, you know, and so he decided not to come. But we did have Sam. Let's give Sam a big hand. You know, John was born in St. Louis. His dad was a pioneer in the marketing of pay-as-you-go business. And from St. Louis, they moved to Springfield, Missouri. It's there where, Springfield, Illinois, where John met Marina Watson. And he was only in the 5th grade. Of course, he wrestled with Abraham Lincoln. He played a lot of hopscotch with Marina. And she was a girl down the street. But that was in the 5th grade. You know, today we say, gee, these kids already work so fast. Look at this. In the 5th grade. At 13 and feeling his oats, he ran away from home seeking adventure. His cohort was Tom Moran. Now, most of you know, I know Tom Moran. He was a noted artist today. Well, anyway, Tom Moran and John, they ran away from home, and they got as far as the covered bridge just outside of town. Remember that, John? And the sheriff's posse came, and they picked them up, and they brought them. They were starving. They were hungry, had nothing to eat. But today, John in his home has a oil painting of this covered bridge by Tom Moran. And that's where it started. Also, a couple of years later, they borrowed a jalopy, and they had, being in the Chicago area, they had a sheriff's deputy badge with them, just in case. It was a key to any place in Chicago. So they pulled up in Chicago, and they parked in an illegal place, and the Chicago policeman came up and says, "Get your, fanny's out of here, John took over deputy sheriff's badge, He found out today why they put little balls on those points in the star of the deputy sheriff's badge. He found out why they do that. And Carol, that's not why John walks around like this. It wasn't from a war wound, You may call it shrapnel. But anyway, he did find out why they put balls on the tip of a sheriff's deputy badge. All right, after a stint at boarding school, he returned to Springfield and junior college. Also began dating Marina. It was a time for parties, fun-filled, gala events. John was known, I got this from Julia, how close can you get? She knows. John was known as the organizer. It was known as Gately's Gang, Gately. Pick them up, all right? The parties were always at Marina's house for some reason. Julie remembers because she always paid the tab. Does that fit? But she enjoyed every minute of it, John. She really did. She loved it. That was the organizer. Did you know this? That John was at WCBS in Springfield? And that's where he coined it. He started every morning, this smooth talking announcer would get on. Top of the morning, right? That's where he coined the phrase, top of the morning. And also, he was always introduced by, "Here's Johnny." Well, somebody stole that line, but that was originated in WCBS in Springfield, Illinois, by Mr. John Gately. Now, shortly after attending Loyola University in New Orleans, he coined the phrase, "'Tis a shank of the evening." You all know that, right? You're about half potted, you're ready to go home, and John comes up with, "'Tis a shank of the evening." He coined that in New Orleans because it was a time when with the folks assembled, with glasses filled on high, and the magic of the singing cast a spell. Well, John, I'll tell you one thing, he was no Irish tenor. He had a cute way of wiping off the suds. He still, John, give me an example. He still does it today. That's where he started that, wiping off the suds in New Orleans. All right, all this was cut short when Uncle Sam pointed to John and says, "I want you." For 4 years, he spent it in the Army Medical Corps. Now, he didn't have to put on a rubber glove. He didn't have to say, "Cough, please." But he did get out of the Army as an officer, and John is always a gentleman. 4 years. Now, he gets out of the service. Quick stint at insurance business. There's no man like endurance as the man who sells insurance. John tried out for a year and then called it quits and went to DePaul University where he majored in business law, supposedly, but his real major was in romance. And on January 12th, 1947, John and Marina tied the knot. And life becomes a bowl full of gate. Brian, Patrick, Michael, Daniel, and of course, Paula's sister, Marina Elizabeth. It was a bowl full of gateways. John's other career began in May 1948. It's USG, get this, $225 a month. John, that's today's beer bill, isn't it? All right, he goes to Chicago. After 10 short months as a sales trainee, John becomes assistant to Bill Cluston. And Bill Cluston at that time was the division manager of the Southwest Division. From there, John goes to Houston. Now this is getting way back there, 49. He's got a job, he's a job salesman in Houston. From Houston, he goes to Little Rock. A year later, he has a colorful job in Little Rock, Arkansas as a paint salesman. Have you ever tried to sell paint He was the installation salesman in Kansas City. At that time, do you remember Mace Myers, Ira Hyman, Billy Joe Davis? Now, by 1953, this is 3 years before I even joined the company. By 1953, it's back to Texas as assistant district manager over the Alamo City and more paper shop. That's it, he was assistant paper shop. But in July of 1955, John comes up smelling like a rose. The rose of San Antonio. How well Ross remembers, right? He's district manager of the famous award-winning San Antonio district. Now, while Perry Seibert, you got to understand how I feel about it. While Perry Seibert basked in the limelight of the metro market, right? Jim Bieselberg, he had the outlining district. I mean, these guys are making bonuses like you won't believe, you know? Ross Stanford, he was a spearhead sheetrock salesman, and he sold it by the carloads. I didn't know what a carload of board was at the time. I was gathering dust out in West Texas. I really was. Now, for 8 years, John gorged on jalapenos and enchiladas. He floated in a sea of Jack's beer. He hunted dove, deer, and quail. He fished out the Pedernales and the Brazos River completely. And twice, two times, he visited me in West Texas. Of course, West Texas was dry, right? Do you have a question? All right, now John was ready for the real big time. With skyscrapers, Wildcats, the Astrodome, and sheetrock wallboard by the trainloads. For 13 years, Houston leads the nation. The spotlight is focused on John Patrick and his supporting cast, Van Moon. Who else was there? Lou Walker, Carol Cordray, Sonny Davis and Sam Downey. Now, if I can say that in one breath, I'm Sammy Davis and Sam Downey were there at the same time. Also, Ed Cerny was there at the same time. He came in from the Park Plan. Now, can it get any better than that? You bet. It's December 1976, and John becomes the general manager of the greatest little warehouse in Texas. This warehouse, yes. Now, it was known to the company as Drywall Supply, you know, but we knew what it was. For 10 years, John holds the reins of destiny. And with Bob Woelfel, he's riding shotgun. It's time to turn over the reins. John has seen the Houston skyline change. He's been a part of it, a very close part of it. Going back to when he was a job salesman down there in Houston. And when you reach the summit of a 38-year career, well, it's time to step back and enjoy the view. Intermingled among the hunting, fishing, and little business, John found time to chair the Cosmopolitan Club, a civic organization helping underprivileged kids. Wonderful outfit. On Sunday, would you believe this? On Sunday, this is drinking beer all of a sudden. On Sunday, he's a lectern at St. Vincent de Paul Church. And John, I looked it up. Did you know that July 19th, that's tomorrow, is St. Vincent's Day? Make a note of it. Anyway, he's a lectern at St. Vincent's de Paul Church. All right, besides reading from the good book, John headlines the annual raffle ticket sales, of which we were all a part. Everybody, you bought raffle tickets. Everybody. For 30 years I bought raffle tickets. At least five a year. That's 150 tickets. I never won a damn thing yet. They did.
I want a TV.
They won a yeah. That's the first time. I'll buy it again next year, John. All right, but his crowning achievement was with Marina at his side. Whether raising kids or throwing a party, what a team. John spinning those tales as he always does, and Marina making sure that everybody had a good time. She would have loved this moment. really would have loved this moment. Wow, 38 years, 1,001 thoughts, and a million tomorrows. John, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hands. It's just an old Irish blessing. Can't say it any better than this. Top of the morning. Please, John.
This is a tough act to follow, all you guys talking. John, everyone in this room respects you for many reasons, but there's a select group here, maybe a real personal group that admires you for other reasons, and that is because you hired us or promoted us. If you had every man could come into this room that you've hired or promoted, this room would be full. You couldn't get them in this room right now. Just to name you a few of the men that you're promoted since you've been a manager, I just want to let you know, and there's quite a few of them here tonight. Tonight, in this room, you've promoted Dick Dale. He's one of our managers with the company. Ross Stamper, you're promoted. Charles Royal, you're promoted. Sonny Davis, you're promoted. Frank Wall, now in Chicago, in upper management, you're promoted. Al Knudsen, doing a fine job, promoted. Jim Biesenberger and Perry Cypress. John, you can be very proud of your record with the company, your contribution to the company, the men that you've hired, and the fine contribution you made to our company. We certainly appreciate it. I know I've certainly enjoyed working with you. I certainly look forward to a long friendship, and it's really been nice to be associated with you. Thank you very much for what you've done for us.
I think most of us can recognize that. John, I want you to come up here a minute. Got a little something for you. There's one more. There's one more little geekism that most of us in this room have experienced. And before I do that, yeah. I have a little gift for you here. I don't open it just yet because I have something to say about it. Everyone, like I said, that has worked for John has had this little Gateism expressed to them. And it contains two phrases. The first phrase, we want to say, we give it back to you with our sincere, heartfelt appreciation. The second little phrase, you can start opening it now. The second phrase was given in a different context in which I'm giving it tonight. And yet, I think all of us can see the context in which I intend it to be, and that is that we can't do it the way John did it, but we do it in a sense that if we had it to do over again, we damn sure would.
Keep opening.
Keep opening. You notice that's green, didn't you?
I'm afraid it might jump up.
This little plaque says, thanks for a job well done. Let's do it again.
This is a handmade rock clock drywall supply
you that it would be your time to make a speech after the gift, but that ain't the gift yet. So don't make the speech. John, I did want to present to you this album that contains letters. Everybody can't get up and say things, but everybody that's here tonight probably has put a letter in this album. And I think when you take it home, if you're like I am, I've read it several times, you're going to really enjoy it. So I'm going to leave that with you. In addition to that, my friend, from all of us to you on this, your retirement, 38 years, we'd like to present this to you to remember us. And after you get it open, I'm going to tell you some things that ain't there for obvious reasons. This is the card that goes with it. I'll let you read a little later after you get it open.
So they don't.
I have some things here that also go with it, but I will show you.
Good. Well,
I didn't mean it, John. I didn't mean it.
What is that?
should I get first? Somebody ain't here. But no, this is a beautiful.
What I said, John, there wasn't everything in there, and there's not a clip in there.
That's good.
For obvious reasons. Yeah.
Well, they always say it's the empty one that gets you, but I'll just make sure it's still empty and believe that. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. I've obviously always wanted one of these.
That's a 22 caliber Luger.
Yeah,
Ruger
right.
pistol, and not to say there's been any surprise when he asked John what he most wanted in his lifetime, and that's what he said he wanted in his lifetime, so that's what he got. To go along with that, John, now you're going to have shells, which we would not bring tonight. All right, safety. We wouldn't bring those tonight, but we also do have a $100 gift certificate from Eichmann's,
Wonderful.
of which you can go down and purchase shells, fishing lures, or whatever pleases your shoulders to go with it.
Thank you.
John, I'm going to turn the floor over to you at this time. Unaccustomed, they should already know.
Right. Oh,
We all know well.
And that's a mess up there after everybody's been through it. Who brought this up here? Van Moon? Put it down. You did a good job. We'll give it back to you.
Van, is this your glasses?
Yeah, I'm not here, guys.
No?
Yeah, I'm not calculating.
Those are, whose are these? Good man, I am.
11-12. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray McDaniel. Thank you. Thank you. Now, since most of you paid your own money to come, it's even more appreciated that you came to the retirement party. Now, I had some things to say, but as the program unveiled itself, many of the things I was going to say or was going to allude to have been covered. So I will skip a part of this, great parts of this, because if there's one thing I remember, Marina, you used to say when I practiced a speech or a talk in front of her, the only sage advice she ever gave was keep it brief. Keep it brief. And I hear it. So you all will benefit from that. Keep it brief. Now, when you've been thinking about the retirement, all the people, what it is, how do you express yourself, you can go all over the line. You can go all over the line. But really, it gets down to just a few things where you say what you really believe and feel. And 38 years, 38 and a half years of being with U.S. Gypsum, why did I stay? Why probably are many of you staying? Because after all is said and done, you look around, the reason is people, people, people. That's why you're here. Sure, you enjoy doing your job. You enjoyed your job. But more than that, it's the association you have and are having with the people that you're working. You enjoy it. And truthfully, that's one of the big reasons I'm with USG. I've enjoyed the people, being with them. And I'm sure that many of you staying, that's one of the strong reasons of why you were staying. Now, I said if I tried to recognize and thank and talk about each of you, we'd be here. We're going to be here too late now, but we'd be here at 2 o'clock in the morning. But there are special groups that I would like to recognize, some that has already been done. But I'd like to again recognize members of a very special club here tonight. I'm being initiated into that club. The club is retired USG people. So stand up, members that are present here. Lou and Della Walker, stand up. Bill Day, stand up. And the latest to join, prior to me, Ray and Florence McDaniel. Stand up. Let's give this club here. I will be joining your august group very shortly. Now, Perry has already spoken about Bob Wolf. I tell you, he had a tough job. Anytime you come in and your replacement has been in the market for 23 years, and he's going to stay there to guide you, supposedly, and inadvertently, no matter how he tries, tell you how to do it, where to do it, how to do it, where to go, etc. It's hard. It is hard. And he's had great forbearance and tolerance, putting up with somebody that kind of likes to run the show himself and just kind of hates turning things over. So he's already been recognized. He's done an outstanding job. But there's even one person beyond that who deserves something. And, after putting up with me all day long, he'd go home and he'd be a little less than human. He was a little short, testy, upset, and what have you. Yet his wife has put up with it, and she never expected when she came down here that was going to be part of the job. So stand up, honey. You two deserve a Bob. Okay, we're getting near the finale. Stay awake. Would these people please stand with no applause at the present time? Perry Sackler. Sonny Davis, he's gone. Jim Biesenberger. Al Newsom. Harold Good. Ross Stamp. Carol Cordray. Richard Rennick. Dale Garrett. Gary Roden. Mark Eagle. John Trim. Bill Lett. Now, what's there so special about this group? Well, I either hired them or assigned them to their first sales assignment, and health training. Stay standing. The youngest in this group is Mark Aiken. He sticks around until he's 65. He'll retire in the year 2024. I'll be 103 years old. But at least it's comforting to know that for the next 38 years, or at least till I'm 103, there'll be somebody in this group who remembers J.P. Gage. Mark, you've got a hell of a job. Now, what has USG given me, and vice versa? Look at him. Look at him standing here. What more could I ask in job satisfaction and happiness? Individually and collectively, they're doing an excellent job, and I'm proud of them because I've been a part of it. I'll be keeping track of you and looking at your progress and hope and know that you will prosper. Now let's give these people a great big hand. Now, just before I say let the good times roll, I gotta say, Perry Safford, Al Newsom, as usual, you did a magnificent job. You've done good, as Ross Stamper used to say. Still says you've done good. And the closing words are the words I always like to hear. Let the good times roll. Thank you.